That's an easy night for y'all. Y'all come here and box me up real quick, probably clip me, then go home.
As a business, I understand. I ain't gonna hate on the decision, but as a man
Your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
fighter with my integrity.
JakePaul is currently sparring with Shakur Stevenson ahead of his upcoming fight against GervontaDavis. To match Tank's size, speed, and skill, Jake has chosen Shakur as his primary sparring partner, aiming to sharpen his reflexes, timing, and defense. After spending 5 years as a professional boxer, Jake believes this preparation will give him the edge he needs. Confident and determined, he plans to shock the boxing world by knocking out Davis and proving he truly belongs among the elite.
Prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you. How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So
Wow.
Just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives, but we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punch.
JakePaul's transformation from a social media personality to a legitimate boxer has been nothing short of remarkable. He's already secured multiple professional victories, showcasing his discipline and steady improvement inside the ring. Despite constant criticism, Jake continues to train relentlessly, focused on silencing his doubters. His upcoming fight with GervontaDavis represents his biggest challenge, a defining moment that could cement his evolution in the sport. Determined to shock the world once again, Jake believes his skill, power, and commitment will speak for themselves.
The world and even shock myself and show myself what I'm capable of.
When you picture how it goes down, is there something that you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself knocking him out? Do you imagine being victorious? And what would that mean for you? A guy, again, who has only been in this sport for a couple of years. You've turned it on its head. You've had a massive impact, clearly, in just a few years, but it's only been a few years. That's the bottom line.
No, exactly. This is my 5th year as a pro. And so I've had to progress faster than anyone else in the sport to be able to compete at this level and to be able to hang in there with these guys. But I do believe that I have the power and the offense to be able to walk Tank into a knockout like I've done with other opponents and set them up for it. And so I am fully confident in my ability, and I think it would be one of the craziest upsets in a long time.
Yeah, well, one of the craziest upsets ever, probably, in many people's eyes. Well, I think I saw Cardi B just put a $250,000 bet down. It was a parlay, I believe, on Aspen all over Cyril Gahn. But then for Tank to beat you, have you seen that? And what do you think about Cardi B potentially placing a $250,000 bet here?
I didn't know.
I saw it on.
Recently, JakePaul added Shakur Stevenson to his training camp, a move that signals his commitment to serious preparation. According to Paul, Stevenson personally reached out and offered to join, adding authenticity and credibility to his current phase of training. To mirror Davis's quickness and southpaw rhythm, Jake has surrounded himself with multiple left-handed sparring partners. This diverse setup helps him adapt to Tank's angles, footwork, and counterpunch timing. His focus now revolves around discipline, movement, and conditioning rather than relying solely on raw power. The presence of Stevenson, one of boxing's most technically gifted fighters, adds polish to Jake's unorthodox approach, proving he's serious about reaching boxing's highest level.
Sparring, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're gonna hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just gonna bring in a plethora of fighters that are.
Despite ongoing debates about celebrity boxing, the sport continues to retain its traditional charm. Fans still gather for major bouts, not only for entertainment, but for the nostalgia and respect boxing represents. The upcoming clash between JakePaul and GervontaDavis has reignited discussions across the boxing world. Brian Mendoza stated that such opportunities are part of boxing's natural evolution. If an athlete brings attention and revenue, he deserves the chance to compete. After all, boxing is also a business where attention translates into opportunity. This bout has sparked global conversations, keeping the sport relevant and commercially strong in an era dominated by social media and short attention spans.
Man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby.
I'm
not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days.
Yeah.
Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. You know, they're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore, but it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like, they're talking, like, I don't know the official one, they're talking about like 100 mil.
Oh, damn.
They're talking about these insane numbers. Like, I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100 million or something like that. But I do see exactly what you're saying about the essence of boxing. I wish they would kind of separate it a little more, because exhibitions have always been a thing. There's always been an argument.
Right.
But they're just selling it like a real fight almost.
Right.
So I think that maybe if we could create a better like distinction, more of a difference,
Right.
there might be less hate on it. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna tell Tank not to take that fight.
And I said this last year. I said create a influencer title. And let those guys fight over there in the influencer world. They can live the world. And
The sudden alliance between JakePaul and Shakur Stevenson caught many fans by surprise. Stevenson, known for his calm professionalism, rarely collaborates with crossover boxers. Yet, this partnership marks a rare fusion between traditional and modern boxing cultures. While observers call it unusual, both fighters clearly benefit. Jake gains technical insight from one of boxing's sharpest tacticians, while Stevenson reaches a broader, younger audience. Their sessions have been described as focused and intense, showing how unconventional pairings can create powerful learning experiences. This collaboration blurs the line between entertainment boxing and elite-level training, redefining how the sport connects with modern audiences.
Stevenson reached out to JakePaul in support of him preparing for JervontaDavis. Help me understand, what is the difference between Boots Ennis reaching out to Canelo Alvarez in support of his preparation for Terrence Crawford versus Shakur Stevenson reaching out to JakePaul in preparation for his fight with JervontaDavis? Tell me, what is the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. The Ennis family actually had a relationship with Canelo Alvarez. Shakur Stevenson has no relationship with JakePaul. None. We heard, oh, Boots is a sparring partner. How much you got paid for that? So now, isn't that also applicable to Shakur Stevenson? Is he not also a sellout? I don't want to hear anything about this fight. It's against a YouTuber, it doesn't matter. No, Shakur Stevenson is an elite level fighter that is going to be a sparring partner to a YouTuber, and he reached out to him directly?
Since the announcement of JakePaul versus GervontaDavis, Shakur Stevenson has been open about his views. While some assumed his involvement meant support for Jake, Stevenson clarified his position. He sees the fight from both a business and competitive perspective. From a business standpoint, it's a huge event that brings attention and revenue, something boxing always seeks. But from a purist's angle, it doesn't align with the sport's true competitive spirit. Stevenson maintains a balanced stance, recognizing the opportunity without discrediting Tank's decision. His response reflects maturity, focusing on boxing's evolution rather than personal opinion.
That opportunity, because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault them for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
Okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and then the Jake Paul fight is presented, you may not make as much money, or the fight may not be as lucrative as it was before you lost. So, as a business, I understand. I ain't gonna hate on the decision, but as a man
Your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
fighter with my integrity,
Yeah, but isn't there a price for everything, Shakur? Like, even if you had a draw with somebody and you were offered 10 times more than you ever, I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot more than he's ever made. You think you might consider doing the same thing, right?
I would, but you gotta also realize, I know that it's not going nowhere. Like, the
Right.
fight ain't gonna go nowhere. Like, say, because if I really believe in myself,
Right.
and I wholeheartedly think, like, if we fight again, I'm gonna win this fight.
That fight still be there around the
After
corner.
I beat this motherfucker, where you at?
Yeah.
The fight still there. It's not gonna go nowhere. But if I have a 50-50 thought process to
doubt.
where it's like,
Right.
yeah, I got doubt in my brain, I may be like, all right, fuck it.
Also,
Let's
in his
cash
case,
out.
Right,
in his
right.
case, it might be that he's tired of fighting anyway. He's leaning towards retiring
Yeah,
anyway.
let's cash out.
So he's just gonna get that.
Boxing commentators remain divided over the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis event. Traditionalists view it as a marketing spectacle that risks overshadowing genuine boxing contests. Yet, analysts admit these fights attract new audiences and business opportunities. The irony is clear. Critics denounce such matchups, but also profit from the buzz they create. Broadcasters, promoters, and even rival fighters benefit from the attention. This duality shows how boxing now thrives as part of a larger entertainment ecosystem, feeding on stories, rivalries, and personalities that capture global imagination.
For sure, there's a lot of people that switched over now. Everybody's
Right.
like, oh, I've been telling y'all, Shakur. I know y'all have not. Y'all been quiet.
They on the bandwagon
Do
now.
you actually, we talked to Virgil Ortiz, right? He told us that he be screenshotting a lot of the hate on Instagram to remember to maybe one day comment on their posts. Do you remember certain comments or posts that bother you?
I remember it, but like, I'm not gonna screenshot it. What I do, I kind of like, if I see something, I be ready to argue it or go back and forth, but I get up and run.
But I'm
like,
talking
fuck it,
about
I'ma
Get up
go
and run.
run 3
Or
miles.
to
like-
motivate you.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
for
talking
sure.
about like somebody that you know in the boxing industry that you respected, that you kind of was disappointed, like, damn, like.
Everybody, except for the people that's like right there with me, like the Bud Crawford. He's somebody who kind of stay with me throughout everything. And I think he's one of the realest people in the sport of boxing. But everybody, I feel like everybody just said,
Like
Yeah.
commentators, people that host
and
shows.
people around me started moving different.
Like-
everybody,
like friends?
everybody,
Really?
everybody.
So you had to cut some people off?
Yeah, yes, I cut people
People
off.
you thought were friends.
Yes.
When you say moving different, what do you mean?
I ain't gonna like go into detail because I ain't gonna need to put everybody on the spot, but a lot of people start looking at me different. You know, social media make people think a certain image or certain things about you. Like, people I walk into every day, like, bro, I know you. I've been around you for years. You know me. So if you know me, how you feel as though that you gonna go and look at me different or treat me different than what I was already was. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, what did Turkey say after that when, like, on a personal conversation? Did he say anything to you?
Nah, he just said, good job. We're gonna get you on and next